I'm Madeline.
I'm Grace.
Laura.
I'm Ruby. I'm Ella.
Alright, and we're here to present our Mars movie, and it's called Eras 16, as in 2016. And where it's placed is sort of near the North Pole in the Utopia Peninsula, which is basically a basin that might have ice in it. So it's a very interesting place to be.
So being that we are on Mars, there are a lot of difficulties surrounding the atmosphere and the new location that we're not really super experienced in. So we built a dome to kind of isolate our little community so that we would be able to breathe when we bring oxygen tanks. And we have solar panels out here so we can have enough energy to produce our own heating system and our other technologies inside. We have, oh yeah, here. I'm gonna take this one.
We have a very nice little drawing of astronauts. But yeah, this is like
So-
the inside. Yeah, if it were done.
So there's a lot of brief part here. If we had more time, we would finish the rest of it. But our idea was that this is going to be like our starting off point. It's going to be like step one, where we're trying to create our own ecosystem by planting like a lot of trees and a lot of vegetables, like creating as much greenery as possible, because with more plants, we get oxygen, we have our own system that will eventually be able to sustain itself, so we don't have to bring in all this oxygen from Earth. We have a pond that's going to be sourced from the North Pole, where there is a lot of ice via pipeline. We have living quarters. The oxygen tanks are connected to them, so that if need be, we do have spare oxygen. There's place for rover storage, and there's a communication center so that if something were to go wrong, we do have the capability to contact back to them.
Now, on the dome, really, the reason it's so shiny is because of radiation. If you don't want any of that inside, it'll hurt people. That's bad. So it is a reflective surface, so the radiation will simply reflect back. This also helps with temperature control, because any heat created inside will be reflected back in to the center of the dome, which keeps it nice and toasty for all you people who don't like the lovely Martian weather. Everything on Mars is lighter, apparently, I've been told. I'm still confused. So,
The
depending on
atmosphere
the
is
gravity.
lighter.
Okay, anyway, depending on how the gravity is, you can either you can make the poles heavier, it's just a frame, fill it up, you can do whatever depending on the gravity, because no one's clarified that. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So
basically, yeah, that's why.
in case the dome breach, it's basically what the oxygen tanks are for. The living quarters are separated out from the actual dome. So if something were to, I don't know, blow up the dome like some annoying person who wanted to kill us all, we could just hide in the living quarters until someone fixes it.
Yeah, we decided to do this because we thought it was the most sustainable way to colonize Mars. And in the future, if we were ever to have to like exit Earth's sort of atmosphere and area and like colonize a new planet in order to survive, we thought this would be the best method, because it like really is kind of like transporting life on Earth and like the Earth's environment onto a planet that we could then make into a long-term new residence.
And tiny astronauts, because no one can argue with tiny astronauts.
Okay, so we have two vehicles here. Now I'm going to explain this triangle. This is essentially a prototype for a lander, and
We based it off of
it's an
this.
extreme
This is our like
prototype.
mini prototype, and this is our big prototype.
So this is plastic, so you can see in it, but this side will also unhinge. In the final designs and everything, so that the rover can get out.
It would roll out.
And so we also have padding for the rover. In the real design, there'll probably be some sort of insulated rubber or something, but it essentially keeps the rover safe inside of it. So if anything goes, big things during the landing, it'll still be safe inside. And the reason why it's such an unusual shape is that when it's falling down to Mars, it's gonna be a flat face that's gonna get hit. And that essentially means that it isn't very aerodynamic and it will slow it down.
We'd also, ideally, we didn't have enough time, and also like, we were gonna use cups to like represent jets, but the wood would have crushed it. But so instead, just like imagine that they were like little fire jets, and like that's how it would land, because it would slow it down, and then at the end it would sort of like smooth it out. Yeah.
We also have, what do I call it? Observer of some kind. Yeah, an orbiter, that's the word. I don't know words. Which I am jokingly referring to as the Waffle Observer Mars Edition. Because it looks like a waffle iron. I don't know, that's just what I thought. They're actually supposed to be solar panels, but waffle irons are cooler. So, this is a model, of course. I'm going to actually throw this into space. It's tiny. And what it would do is it would basically observe Mars, keep tabs on those Martian rocks. Don't want them getting feisty or anything, you know. Keep tabs on that. Also, because of the fact that there are geomagnetic storms in space, they can mess with satellites and anything electronic, because just wipe the memory, and we'll have nothing to look at. So, in theory, what this would do is if it sensed a surge in, wow, okay, I broke it. If it sensed a surge in like magnetic energy, it will shut off until its sensors pick up a stable amount of magnetism. That's basically it. Get into how many rocks we see. Tons of rocks. Planets work, because we're looking at a planet. But yeah. Waffle observers.
Thank you.